Hey everyone, and welcome back. You know how we love to get into the nitty-gritty of fascinating tech stuff, and today, oh, today we're diving deep into something truly powerful, a database system that handles information on a scale that's, well, kind of mind-blowing to even think about. We're talking about Cassandra.
Cassandra, yeah. And what's really cool is how it all started, actually. It was
Yeah.
something we all use every single day.
Search. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I use search a million times a day. Like, how did that lead to something as, I don't know, as complex and powerful as Cassandra?
Well, think about it. The company that created Cassandra, they wanted to make it possible for users to search through every single message they'd ever sent or received.
Okay, but that's a lot of messages.
It is a lot. We're
Yeah.
talking billions upon billions of messages, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is that traditional databases, like the ones most companies used at the time, they just weren't built to handle that kind of volume. It's like, imagine.
Trying to find, like, one specific grain of sand on a beach that stretches for miles and miles.
Yeah.
I see your point.
Exactly. It's just overwhelming. So they needed a completely different approach.
So what did they do? Did they just invent something entirely new out of thin air?
Well, not exactly. They were smart about it. They looked around at what already existed and found inspiration in some really powerful systems like Amazon's Dynamo and Google's Bigtable.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of those.
Yeah,
Aren't they, like, kind of legendary in the world of handling tons of data?
absolutely. So Dynamo, that's all about making sure data is always available no matter what. Like even if some servers crash, the data is still there. They do this by spreading copies of the data across lots of different machines. And then you have Bigtable, which is all about efficiency, storing data in a super organized way that makes it really fast to find what you need.
Okay, I'm starting to see the pieces coming together here.
Right. So you can think of Cassandra as taking the best parts of both of these systems. It took the always available approach of Dynamo and combined it with the super efficient storage of Bigtable. And bam, you have Cassandra, a system that can handle massive, massive amounts of data. It's always available and can even keep working if parts of it fail.
Okay, now that's impressive. But if it was created by one company for their own use, how did it become so widely used? Like, how did it spread to other companies and organizations?
That's the beauty of open source software. The company that created Cassandra, they decided to make it freely available for anyone to use and contribute to. So other companies, developers, even individuals, they could all get involved, make improvements, and really shape Cassandra into something even more powerful. And that's exactly what happened. Companies like, Stonefly, they've been at the forefront of leveraging Cassandra for their clients because Stonefly, their expertise in data storage solutions is incredible, and they recognized early on how powerful Cassandra could be for managing and protecting vast amounts of data, which is essential for businesses today.
Wow, so it's like a global collaboration of experts constantly refining this system. That's pretty amazing. Okay, let's break down some of these key features you've been talking about. You mentioned spreading data across multiple machines, to make sure it's always available. Can you explain exactly how that works?
Sure, think of it like this. Instead of keeping all your important files in just one filing cabinet, imagine if you had copies of those files spread out across multiple secure vaults. That's essentially what Cassandra does with the data. It's called distributed storage.
Okay, I get it. So instead of putting all your eggs in one basket, you're spreading them out. So even if one machine crashes or something, the data is still safe on other machines.
Exactly. That's why Cassandra is so good at what we call high availability. It ensures that the data is always accessible, even if some parts of the system are having problems. For businesses that need access to their data 24/7, that kind of reliability is, well, it's essential, right?
Absolutely. No company wants their systems going down and losing access to important information. So this distributed storage, it's kind of like a safety net for data, making sure it's always there when you need it.
Exactly. And another great thing about this design is that there's no single point of failure. What that means is there isn't one central component that, if it fails, could bring down the entire system. It's designed to keep working even if parts of it aren't functioning properly.
So it's like a team where even if one player is out, the rest of the team can still keep playing the game.
Exactly. Companies like Stonefly, they really understand the importance of this concept. I mean, they've built their reputation on providing data security and availability solutions. So when they design their systems, they prioritize this kind of resilience, making sure that their clients' data is protected and accessible no matter what.
Okay, that makes total sense. Now let's talk about scalability. You mentioned that Cassandra can handle increasing amounts of data without breaking a sweat. How does it do that?
So imagine a city, right? But it's designed to grow and expand easily. As more people move in, you just build new neighborhoods, expand the roads, and the city adapts. Cassandra works kind of like that. As the amount of data grows, you can just add more machines to the network, and Cassandra seamlessly incorporates them, distributing the data and the workload.
So it's like a city that's constantly evolving and growing, but it never gets overcrowded or chaotic.
Exactly. It just keeps adapting and expanding to accommodate the growth. For companies that are dealing with rapidly increasing amounts of data, this kind of scalability is critical. And that's something that Stonefly, as experts in data storage, really understand. They know that businesses need solutions that can grow with them, and Cassandra provides that flexibility.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground today. We talked about how Cassandra came about because of a real-world challenge, how it cleverly combined the best of existing technologies to create something truly innovative, and how its open-source nature has allowed it to become this incredibly powerful system used by companies all over the world. And of course, we can't forget about companies like Stonefly who've really embraced Cassandra and used it to create some pretty incredible data storage solutions. We dug into its key features: distributed storage, high availability, no single point of failure, and that effortless scalability.
It's an amazing example of what can happen when brilliant minds come together and collaborate to solve a problem. And by leveraging these principles, spreading data out, making sure it's always available, and building systems that can grow and adapt, organizations can achieve some pretty remarkable things in terms of data resilience and scalability.
Absolutely. It's really exciting to see technology like this evolving and making such a big impact. And now, here's a question for all of you listening. Knowing what you know now about Cassandra and the amazing things companies like Stonefly are doing with it to build robust data storage solutions, what other possibilities do you see for this technology? How else could it be used to solve problems and create new opportunities? What other challenges could it help us overcome in the future? It's something to think about, and we hope you'll keep exploring this fascinating world of technology with us. Thanks for joining us on another deep dive, and we'll see you next time.